You know, I consume a very different diet of media than you do. But I've been listening to a lot of grocery store music. Specifically, I've been listening to the overhead music in the Panera. And I listen to music differently than you do, especially lyrics. I listen more deeply than you do, not just for whether the song has a specific or an unspecific meaning to me, whether it elicits a specific feeling or memory or nostalgia in me. I am listening to the story the singer songwriter is telling, because I grew up on country music, and country music tends to be ballads and tends to actually be stories with meanings, with morals that are trying to elicit more than just a feeling or a nostalgia or something in you, so that you'll listen to it or at least buy it or at least show up to the record, or right. So country music isn't trying to attach itself specifically to you. And that tradition is a folklore tradition that does go back to the other media that I consume that very many of you will not have. And that's pre-modern romantic literature. Something I think would very much surprise you to learn about me is that my actual favorite movies are rom-coms. I love romantic comedies. I was stoked for the Mindy Project because I thought the core gameplay loop, the core narrative loop of her obsession and her constantly getting the moral from all of these different rom-coms wrong was genius. I was into the premise because I had got myself into a loop before my first wife, and I don't have a second wife, but hey, I'm single. Anyway, that was a joke, sort of, but yeah, but kind of, but really. What was I talking about? I'd got myself into a loop where I was trying to orient myself according to the romances that I had consumed already, which is a danger that young women get themselves into. But I've already told you in multiple places that you could find that I have actually the brain of a teenage girl. And so that's a struggle as someone who identifies very strongly as a masculine man. It's hard not to at 6'2". I have other features that are difficult to ignore, but I think like a teenage girl. And so all of my friends growing up were female. All of my really close friends that I could talk to and that I could be this that I am with were female. And now I'm not trying to talk about sexual viability, because what I'm not trying to actually do is sell my sexual viability, because I've been talking about sexual viability in other videos. If this is the first one you watched today, go to my channel, watch my other work, and you'll understand how what I'm doing right now is actually very funny. I will watch this back and laugh. And if Madge would watch this and he would laugh, he would understand, because he gets fucking sick of hearing me talk about this in our conversations. It is a complex web we weave when it comes to sexual viability and what matters, because there are a lot of marketplaces. We've been offered a lot of options as far as approaches to end of life, not discounting that you don't have to have an end of life at all. So I get it.